want to take you on a ride with me today. I'm kind of strapped for time, but I still want to ride gravel. So I'm just going to do like a 10-mile out and back. So right now I'm right at the intersection of Rupple and Weir. That's Weir Road over here. To me, this is kind of like the gateway into the northwest part of Fayetteville's gravel, you know, going from pavement out to all the gravel networks. So that's where I'm at right now. So you'll see starting from here what it's like if you go kind of about 10 miles out and then just come right back instead of making a longer route. So yeah, let me know if you like this type of video and enjoy. Thanks. So a lot of the routes I do will go out to that road to the left. You can ultimately get to all the same places going either way. This just gets you some higher elevation right off the bat. A nice climb. And I don't really know why, I just kind of like to go this way. The gravel is usually in better condition over here too. Better graded and everything. And this is about an 8% grade climb, give or take. So it's in the middle, it's actually March 2nd today, so it's still wintertime, but this whole area is just super gorgeous in the springtime when everything turns green. That's kind of Arkansas in general to me. The winters aren't that bad in terms of like how cold they are, or just, there's, you know, it's still pretty out, but it gets so lush and green in the springtime. And this will all just be, you know, green, like it'll be like a tunnel of green. Super pretty. And so far, this whole route has been basically starting right at that intersection of, most people here say Rupple, R-U-P-P-L-E, and Weir, which is like weird without the D, W-E-I-R. But really, it's just going out west on Weir Road and just kind of following that. I haven't taken really any turns off of just Weir, except for then, I guess I took a left up on Gun Club Road, which you can see in the film, but this is kind of the standard way out. When we get to the end of this road, there'll be a paved road that this crosses. Depending on which way you go on that paved road, you know, there's probably hundreds of gravel routes launching right from around in here you can go do. At the end of the day, most of the routes that I do, they're going, they're kind of going out towards Siloam Springs from Fayetteville. And because I'm leaving from Fayetteville, there's a kind of highway called 412 that crosses out, going from Fayetteville, well, really from Springdale to Siloam Springs. And if you take the routes to north, you'll just hit that highway. So I stay pretty west or southwest, because If you go southwest from Fayetteville, you just go extremely rural and rugged terrain out there. You'll hit the Boston Mountains out towards Farmington. There's always dogs out here too. It seems scarier than it is. You just unclip a foot and kind of have the body language of, hey, I'll kick you in the fucking face. And dogs have never been bitten, so don't worry too much if you're out and you're not used to gravel roads. There will be tons of just dogs out here. And the most important thing is don't like make a dog have you fall off your bike. Because they probably won't bite you. They'll probably just, if you just keep going fast, they'll probably leave you alone. So I'm gonna turn right. If you go left out that way, there is a ton of routes out there. Those are sort of, they all connect out to each other at some points, but I've taken a right. A lot of times I'll take a left on this 845 county road that has some gravel connectors up by us. They call it like White Cemetery Road, I think. But I think this is the fastest way to get back on gravel and out of traffic, is to go straight. This is Lauren Lane. That's also a county road. That probably just connects over to the previous one that I say I usually do. But if you're not planning routes out to discover and you're just kind of in person exploring, a really good way to find, new gravel is to just look for county road signs and go down those roads. So this is staying a left. It just kind of feels like a straight. County Road 874. This is one of my favorite ways from where I live to get out into Ozark Mountain gravel. And now you're really out here. Before it's kind of like there's some gravel, some pavement. There will be some pavement out here, especially because a lot of the gravel is disappearing. A huge section of a route I did a lot last year is now fully paved, so that will happen. But historically, once you're out here, now you're really out. Cars don't come out here much, and you don't really have to deal with traffic, or it's really remote. guy's got some llamas, some cute livestock. Man, if you live out here, if that's your house right out here and you like to do gravel riding, that's the dream. This up here, I think, is a weed farm. It says hemp production on it. I used to, at least. But a lot of you know probably that a lot of those farms grow dispensary weed too. But there's a bunch of fires over there. Arkansas Hemp Genetics LLC. It's March right now, so all the roads, I don't know when they actually grade them, but everything is really nice. So you can be kind of sloppy. I'm not really being that careful about lines that I'm picking or anything, but April will come and almost every year this is gonna get super washed out. The gravel's gonna become really rough. And when you're riding out here, you'll be really, really careful. And you'll just get jittered up too. But right now it's great. It's almost like the iconic American gravel that you see out here. You gotta be careful for big rocks still, especially when you're descending. Sometimes stuff looks a lot smoother than it is. All right. They must have graded this because last year this would have been, just extremely rough. You can kind of tell if you actually ride out here right now, it's got that like really rough, hardened dirt feel, but you can tell it was graded recently because it's still pretty smooth. But if you ride these roads a lot, you'll figure out what gets really affected by the rain. And as you can see, that was like kind of a steep descent out there. Just a second ago, it was probably minus 12%. Staying right on 871. I actually don't know where that goes. I think that might be private property. Or actually, it might just be, I don't know. That gate used to be closed. So I've never gone down there that I remember, But yeah, you'll be able to tell kind of what gets affected by the rain really bad, because anything at the bottom of a really steep descent like that, it just gets washed out every time it rains. So it's all, and same thing, this whole kind of area, you can kind of tell if you look around, it's in a bit of a valley, so. And you can just tell even right now, this is pretty rough out here. It would be really easy. It's not that bumpy, but there's a lot of irregular sized rocks, so it'd be super easy to cut a tire right now. Something that if you don't know Arkansas well, if you come out here and ride and you're not used to it, I've heard other people say it's like crazy how much water is here. to me, I'm used to it. But the way Northwest Arkansas is in the Boston Mountain kind of area of the Ozarks, it just creates a lot of little river systems and streams. So if you're going on a bike packing trip, you can just bring a water filter. You don't have to pack all that much water, and you can almost always find just bodies of water or little streams that you can filter off. So I'm gonna stay left. I don't actually know. That goes down. Actually, I do know where that goes. I've come that way before, but I don't usually hit that route. I don't go on those routes from here usually, so I'm not familiar. But yeah, man, this stuff over here, wait till the springtime. This area is just gorgeous when all the trees get their leaves. But yeah, like if you're coming out here, you probably will see a ton of, just like I saw right back there, there's an offshoot. Because of that, you know, there's just an unlimited amount of gravel riding to do out here. If it's been raining a lot, this can get crazy over here. Right now, it's not bad at all. But man, I know a lot of people love to just like slam through puddles and stuff. I just don't want to get my feet wet. I always go through puddles like a baby. So I'll probably turn around soon. I've been riding for 36 minutes and I've ridden about 9.1 miles. I'm actually gonna go right here because I'm gonna turn around. So when I first moved to Fayetteville, this is how I would always do routes. I would just go explore, go halfway out, and try to find my way back. But then at some point I started using Garmin to plan routes. And when I have more time to do a longer route, that's really my preference, is to follow a full loop, you know. A tiny little dog up here. This thing's probably mean. Oh, a sweet dog. Usually the smallest ones are the meanest. What's up, QD? So I've basically been going like north, maybe northwest this whole time since we got out into the real gravel section. You can kind of start to get a feel, if you're familiar with these areas, that even if I had never ridden this road before, I would know at some point Highway 412 is going to be somewhere up here, you know. This person is obviously from Texas and has some money. It's a lot of people from Texas out here in Northwest Arkansas. A lot of people from Texas like the school in Fayetteville, and they come here. And I think you get in-state tuition too. So then a lot of college kids come up here, and then my theory is then a lot of parents spend a little bit of time here and they like it. But you get a lot of Texas people out here and a lot of California people. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it around. So I think actually that I came out from this way. I don't do this route very often, to be honest. But kind of funny, you'll probably be more likely to see another gravel cyclist out here than a car, or you might see more, especially if you run through a group ride. This is Saturday, so I'm honestly surprised I haven't seen more people out. It's a really nice day out and it's Saturday, and there'll be a lot of like informal groups out on days like this where people are just getting together with their friends. A lot of people just do really big routes with 2 or 3 people. I see a lot of that. If you follow people on Strava from your group rides that you're the formal ones, you'll see a lot of guys come do more like, 40 to 60 mile rides. Make a day out of it, like stop and get food or something. Yeah, I just turned right there. I think I went the right way, but sorry for that squeaking. I think I pulled my rear brake when my bike was on the trainer doing Zwift, and I think I need to loosen that brake caliper back up. I think it's just rubbing against the disc. It's pretty annoying. Sometimes you get in this like perfect disaster of a line like I'm on right now, where you're just going up grade 1% on gravel with like 10-mile-an-hour winds facing at you. So it's not that steep, but like you'll be holding out, 220 watts for 5 minutes and be doing less than 10 miles an hour the whole time. So some of the, I don't know, it'd be interesting to know how like pros deal with that type of situation, but it feels like a giant energy dump because you end up going like 1 mile and you didn't go down that mile. If you did it in reverse, you didn't go down that fast because it wasn't that steep downhill. So it kind of just messes up your whole pacing when that happens for me. This kind of gravel too, it's like, I can't really explain it, but it's almost like worse than rougher gravel, because it's like you can kind of pick a line over here and you get out of it, but sometimes you have this like pretty smooth base layer with like a really loose layer on top. What's up, man? That's actually, that was Andrew right there, I think. Andrew Onerma. He's the guy who organizes the Ozark Gravel Cyclist group ride. And other stuff too. He does like the Ozark Gravel Doom. He's definitely he's like a figurehead out here for sure. Fayetteville, historically the way I know him, it's like Fayetteville, Arkansas, gravel kind of, culture leader, organizing events. Making the merch. I'm wearing an Ozark Gravel Cyclist jersey right now. So if it wasn't for him, there wouldn't be that kind of stuff. Super cool guy. And he rides like a maniac. If you follow him on Strava, that dude rides insane miles. For me, at least. This is super steep. And that will kill you, man. Riding into the wind after you've already been doing a long pull of uphill. And then a 13% grade into the wind. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that squeak, guys. That's terrible. Jesus. I just can't even build any momentum right now because the wind is just freaking blowing me backwards. It's only a 1% grade, but trying to stay over 10 miles an hour, that's just grueling. Yeah, this is brutal, guys. That wind makes a difference for real. I'm riding at my max heart rate, 178 heart rate. That's my absolute max. And I'm doing 9.9 miles an hour. You gotta be really careful for some of those kind of seemingly innocent little turns like that. There's like a loose top layer out here. And when you're going in a straight line, that feels pretty smooth, but if you start to lean into a turn too much, that kind of like just dirt layer will just slip right out. That's happened to me. One of the worst times I ever fell on a gravel bike was that exact thing. Messed up my hand really bad, and I couldn't ride for like a month and a half because it just like ripped all the skin off my hand. I was still riding like road bikes, but during that time, but I had to basically, you know, like hold the bars weird and just, it was really uncomfortable. All right. Have momentum again. It's crazy how different that feels when you don't have the wind going against you and you can just get flat. You build momentum and then that effort just like kind of keeps you just floating along at like 16 miles an hour. Pretty low effort. Man, this wind is absolutely brutal, guys. I don't have a power meter, but I've trained with one on my trainer a lot with Zwift. And it feels like I'm doing about 300 watts. So you do 11 miles an hour right now on flat ground. That's how strong the wind is. 300 watts for like 11 miles an hour. It's crazy. Which, by the way, that's why your Zwift times are so much faster, because for this effort on a 1% grade like I'm on right now, in Zwift I'd be doing over 20 miles an hour. I always wonder where that goes, to the left. Yeah, it's hard to explain how brutal that wind is, guys. Like, I probably lost 8 to 10 miles an hour on every mile for the last 4 miles. Because you're just, I mean, you're just doing a big effort. Like, I mean, for me, at least, I'm not that athletic. So holding 300 watts for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, feels like a lot to have only been going 11 miles an hour on a 1% grade. Whew. The biggest thing that you don't really get in Zwift is that you don't ever have any real simulation for wind that I'm aware of. So your times are always extremely optimistic. Your pacing. Because in the real world, there's probably going to be, I mean, today's a particularly windy day, but there's always going to be some kind of wind. And in this case, it's really picked up just in the last couple minutes. So I didn't really get the full benefit of having that wind to my back. So this right here actually is Mount Comfort, and when I turn onto here, that'll make it Weir Road. I don't think it was called Mount Comfort back where we just go, but if you keep going straight, that's what that road is. And then this, I don't really know if you call it Weir, but it basically turns into Weir. This little area in particular is pretty interesting. The people here not super friendly, and this little strip, I don't know what it is. That little strip must have been, I don't know, like a community that at one point was like more like low income or something. I don't know what it is, but it's a pretty hostile little strip there. I don't really know why. I'm sure that the people are actually nice if you talk to them and stuff, but they do not come across as very warm or welcoming. I've never been waved at by anyone who lives there, or if I've said hi, I've never gotten a hi back, so. On that street, at least. So this whole road actually used to be paved too. Or not paved, it used to be gravel. I was on a group ride the week that they were paving this road actually, and they had just laid down, I don't really know what you would call it. I guess it's kind of like grease or like tar. It's like tar, I suppose. But they hadn't started doing concrete. It's like they were trying to treat the dirt with tar to like harden it. So the road was still generally gravel, but there was an area where they had just laid down fresh tar. And one of the group rides, or one of the groups in the group ride was up above, and they were going really fast on a descent towards that like road that had a lot of tar in it. And that was like the faster group, so they were all kind of tightly pushed together, you know. There would have been 3x3 kind of groups, and they all got out they were going like, you know, probably 30 miles an hour, and then hit into that tar, and they were all too close together to be able to react. So they all just got like covered in it, and they like ruined like everyone's clothes and their tires, just like everything. Luckily, I was in a group behind, and we could see all that happen. So I did not have that problem. I was very, very thankful. So, yeah, you don't see a lot of runners out here. You see a lot of cyclists out here. But there's the Razorback Greenway in town, and then there's really most people probably just like run in their neighborhoods. That's what I see a lot. It's like people just leave out of their front door, go run 5 miles, and they're back at their door. And that guy probably does live up here, so that's probably what's happening, but most people in Fayetteville don't live 5 miles within this area that I'm at right now. Oh man, that was about a 10% grade. It's a lot of climbing. It's a lot of climbing out here, but the northwest part of Fayetteville for gravel riding, it's definitely the more mild and approachable one. A lot of the routes, they're out in the south part of town. And anything that's leaving more south gets really rugged. if you just leave south out of Fayetteville, downtown, if you're just downtown at the square and go south, it won't be too long before you're in like the Greenland kind of West Fork area, going south out there on a bike. And if you get close out to West Fork, out south of Fayetteville, that stuff is brutal. It's just, you know, plus and minus 20% grade rolling hills out there constantly. So, I mean, it's a good challenge, but not necessarily just like a casual ride. And we're almost back to that intersection of, I call it Rupple Road and Weir, but most people call it Rupple Road. So I'll stop the video at that point. But yeah, on my bike computer right now, I've got 18.46 miles, and there's a little bit left till I'm home after this area, so it'll be about a 20-mile ride for me. And it's good we're almost done, because I'm not gonna lie, riding into that really strong wind going uphill for like 2 miles, I basically emptied out my legs. So my fitness is probably not the best either right now. I've been riding Zwift all winter, which definitely helps, but for me, after like a month of doing Zwift or something, like, you know, just being inside doing it, it's really hard to keep motivation to do anything longer than like 30 minutes. So although I was maintaining my fitness through the wintertime, not nearly as good as it is when I'm doing outdoor rides and I'm doing longer routes and stuff. And I'm just gonna go ahead and but yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it right there. This is Weir Road right behind me. This is Rupple Road right here, or Rupple. And then back that way you can see the Boston Mountains. The angle is probably too wide for you to really see how pretty they are right here, but it's always a nice little boost is getting this vista right here as you come out and finish your ride. So